We will open a public hearing on Senate Bill 777. Richard, you'd be first. 777, which is a big airplane, and 747, which is a big airplane. This is kind of classy, I think. Yeah. See, that was pretty clever.
See if
You
they
were
can,
really careful.
see if
You
they can
only
get off
put
the
your
ground,
bills on
Mr.
numbers that are big.
Went for the airplane bills. Somebody called 777 the jackpot bill. So I like that one. For the record, my name is Richard Burke. I'm speaking today as a member of the State Committee of the Libertarian Party, not in my context as legislative assistant. Little background, I've been involved with minor party politics since 1990. I actually testified in the hearings in 1993, which resulted in the current laws we have governing major and minor parties. I ran for governor in 1998, came in third out of 7 with a whopping 2% of the vote. Managed the...
more than anybody here got.
I also managed the Mitch Schultz for state treasurer campaign, which got 4% of the vote in the last cycle, and I've run successfully for office 3 times as a nonpartisan candidate. I tell you that just to let you know that I've been at this for a while, and I've seen current law work, and so now I'll offer the following testimony. Under current law, a minor political party comes into existence in an electoral district by submitting petitions to the Secretary of State. The petition must contain a number of valid signatures of registered voters in that district equal to or greater than 1.5% of those who voted for governor in the last election. To retain minor party status, 2 things must be done. A minor party must register a number of voters to its party equal to or greater than 0.1% of those who voted for governor in an electoral district during the last gubernatorial election. And 2, a minor party must win at least 1% of the vote for at least one partisan office in the district where it has minor party status in every general election. This is key because every...
I'm sorry,
Can I
Senator
ask you a
Brand?
question here? Can you just give us, do you have a rough estimate of what that means in terms of actual numbers?
Well, it depends on the district you're talking about. If you're talking about state, a statewide political party, you're talking about 10,000 votes. I got 2% of the vote when I ran for governor, and I got about 20,000 votes, give or take a little bit. More exact numbers, I think Scott could probably give you back there, but that's pretty close.
Okay.
If you're like the Socialist Party and you only have status in the 3rd congressional district, the numbers are a little bit less.
Okay.
But see, this is the this is going to be what I'm going to focus on in a second. You have to win 1% of the vote. Now, why do minor parties want the status? They get 2 things. They get a checkoff box on voter registration cards, and they get the ability to nominate candidates to the general election ballot by holding a nominating convention instead of by petitioning. The problem with the current law is that all minor parties, even those which have established a significant voter base, are forced to run candidates in partisan races to meet the 1% requirement. Such parties, like the Pacific Green and the Libertarians, regularly win more than 1% of the vote anyway. But since survival is at stake, and no one wants to put all their eggs in one basket, minor parties run candidates in every partisan race they can. Some minor party candidates, particularly in statewide races, run for the sole purpose of maintaining minor party status. Such candidates waste voter time, taxpayer dollars, and serve to maximize the potential for so-called spoiler candidates. Senate Bill 777 makes one significant change. The bill exempts a minor party from the requirement that it win 1% of the vote if it has a registered base of 0.5% of the electorate in that district. The premise behind this bill is that any party which has registered that many voters has proven that it has a level of support sufficient to justify its continued existence as a minor party. Minor parties which have not registered 0.5% of the electorate would still have to perform at the ballot box, since this is the only other way to show support. Because Senate Bill 777 allows minor parties with a significant base of registered voters to retain its ballot status, they will no longer field candidates for the sole purpose of retaining ballot status. Fewer such candidates will save tax money through reduced voters' pamphlet and ballot printing expenses. Fewer such candidates will make it easier for voters to focus on active campaigns. Finally, minor parties will be able to divert more of their candidates and resources toward more winnable nonpartisan campaigns, as I did after I ran for governor. I got elected to the Tuolumne Valley Water District. Senate Bill 777 takes... Yeah.
In March.
In March.
That's
right. That's right. Senate Bill 777 takes a rational approach benefiting everyone. So, you know, that's my pitch on 777.
Thank you, Richard. Any other questions?
This is Mr.
Any other comments? Okay. What are you guys thinking? Okay. We got a pair. All right. Close the public hearing on 777.
Mr. Chair,
Open the work session on 777.
move Senate Bill 777 to the floor with a due pass.
Senator Byer moves Senate Bill 777 to the floor with a due pass recommendation.
Let's do it, Mr. Chair. If you have the guts to go against the
Any.
major forces in Oregon politics, like the Democratic Party of Oregon and the Republican Party.
Oh, so you added a major force in. Yeah.
The two of them together.
Okay.
Looking at
Look at those
the
sponsors.
signatures on the bill, the sponsors.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any objection?
Brown. Nelson.
Senator Menace will object. Senator Menace, have him down as a no vote in that, if you would, please. And with that, bill passes. And Senator Byer, is that you? Or
I think Senator George should carry this bill.
Absolutely. It's his bill.
Yeah.
We should ask.
That's a great idea.
okay, Senator George will carry it. All right. We'll close the work session and open up public hearing on Senate Bill 747.
For the record, one more time, my name is Richard Burke. I'll just go right into my testimony. Under current law, a minor political party becomes a major political party when one of its candidates for statewide office wins at least 15% of the vote. After doing so, the new major party must register 3% of the electorate to its party within 50 months. Major political parties enjoy many advantages, such as primaries and getting early notice from the media. The problem with current law is that minor parties are incented to run candidates in every statewide race in hoping of reaching the 15% mark. Such was the case with Mitch Schultz's 2000 Libertarian campaign for state treasurer and Lloyd Marbette's 2000 Pacific Green campaign for Secretary of State. Some minor party candidates run only for the purpose of seeking major party status. So once again, we're wasting voter time, taxpayer dollars, and we're maximizing the potential for so-called spoiler races, which can frustrate Republicans and Democrats. Another problem is that major party status can only be won or lost at the statewide level, not within electoral districts, as is the case with current minor party law. This makes no sense in a state as politically diverse and fragmented as Oregon, where the kind of politics holding appeal in Lane County would hold contempt in Wallowa County, and vice versa. Finally, obtaining major party status by winning 15% of the vote in a single election is not helpful to new parties in the long run. Without a significant registrant base to build an organizational and fundraising infrastructure, no new major party can survive. Granting major party status to a party unprepared to handle it is like giving the keys of a sports car to a toddler. Such was the case when the American Party, when they briefly won major party status after Ross Perot's 20% Oregon vote tally in 1992. The act of chasing major party status causes minor parties to waste their best candidates and resources on races they are unlikely to win instead of the more winnable races. Senate Bill 747 makes two significant changes. The bill eliminates the requirement that a minor party win 15% of the vote in a statewide race. Under this bill, a minor party will become a major party within an electoral district when it has registered 3% of the electorate to its party, as is the current level for maintenance today. As suggested in the last sentence, the bill will also make major party law consistent with that for minor parties. It will be possible to win major party status within an electoral district. Under Senate Bill 747, it will actually become harder for a minor party to achieve major party status. But when they win it, they'll have the voter base to handle it. Rather than riding on the coattails of a Ross Perot or recruiting a famous or wealthy candidate to run, minor parties will have to register large numbers of voters. Having said that, Senate Bill 747 will make it possible to win major party status in an electoral district where they have built a support base large enough to regularly run competitive races. Because Senate Bill 747 gets rid of the 15% vote requirement, minor parties will have no reason to run candidates to seek an arbitrary vote tally threshold. Fewer such candidates will save tax money, and fewer such candidates will make it easier for voters to focus on the active campaigns for statewide office, candidates that are really trying to win. Finally, minor parties will be able to divert more of their candidates and resources toward more winnable nonpartisan campaigns. I think that this bill actually helps everybody. I think this is even better than the last one. I didn't have time to go hunting for co-sponsors because we were up on the deadline with this one, but it's the same basic premise. To give you an idea, the Libertarian Party now has 14,030 registered voters. To get major party status, we'd have to get 57,697. And so it's a very formidable hike, but I think it is one that is healthier for major parties, minor parties, voters, and the taxpayer's wallet.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we will close the public hearing.
Thank you, Senator.
On
Mr. Chairman.